All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Wakaha, Quadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shah's return, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And this is going to be a video that caught my attention. I forgot the name of the brother who uploaded this video. I think it was GMS Inquire Early. I could be wrong, but Shalom to the brother who uploaded this video. And what you see on the screen right here is a screenshot that was taken from a video that was uploaded by a brother. Give me a moment. Judgment doth go forth every day. Okay, but and this was a picture or this video that this brother have taken the picture of, or well, his video was based off a video that was uploaded from Dabu 7. And basically we know how the self-proclaimed white man, the ones that the Edom, which the self-proclaimed white men are the biblical Edomites. And that starts with the so-called elites who call themselves Rothschilds or Rockefellers, trickling down to the rest of their nation, the people. Okay, these are your Edomites today, ruling the world in wickedness, according to Job 9, verse 24. The wicked who Edom, according to Malachi 1 and 4, will be known as the borders of wickedness. So Edom predominantly is known as the wicked throughout the Holy Scriptures. Okay, and that man of sin is being revealed through his technology, through his actions, through his intent, how he's ruling on the earth. He's being revealed in the latter days. And what we're seeing here is these Edomites, especially the ones that work for NASA, they have these very advanced telescopes that's able to look deep out into the heavens, or what the Holy Scriptures call the Shemayim. The Shemayim is Hebrew for waters, which waters can also be equated to heavens. Okay, heavens, waters. So that's what the Hebrew word for waters and heavens are. It's Shemayim. Shamayam. Shemayim. So they was looking through the telescope up in the heavens, what the world ignorantly calls outer space. And they saw a so-called UFO up there. And we say so-called UFO because that's what they have been proclaimed by. That's what these vehicles have been proclaimed as by the Edomites. Okay, they started calling them UFOs. But we have identified what these vehicles are in the Holy Scriptures, which are known as the chariots of Israel. And inside of these so-called UFOs, which will be the chariots of Israel in the Holy Scriptures, are the angels of the Lord who receive messages from on high through a chain command, starting with the Heavenly Father down to Yahushua, and then down to his command, of whom he commands to do his bidding on earth. So ultimately, you know, Yahushua, he gives the command, whether if it's to Satan or to particular angels, to come back down here to earth to conduct various tasks, rather if it's to lead somebody to their death, rather if it's to have somebody reincarnated at this particular time, rather if it's to have somebody go through something which will lead to an unfortunate event for them that can lead them crippled for the rest of their life, or rather if it's leading that person to an event where they will be rich for the rest of their life, or leading that person to an event where they will be miserable or poor for the rest of their life. The angels are responsible for conducting all these things you see here on earth. Thus, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So the angels, ultimately, they operate on the minds of the people. Okay, and there are spirits all around us, okay, that we unknowingly pass by every single day. They are in our homes, and they're on the outside of our homes. They're everywhere. From the time you leave your home and go to work, they're everywhere. Which is why, you know, our elders and apostles always stress the importance of prayer, because physical shields cannot protect you from spirits. Okay, so, you know, the angels, ultimately, they are in celestial bodies. Like it tells you in the book of 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, you know, not all flesh are the same flesh, for you have one that is terrestrial and then one that is extraterrestrial. And then you also have celestial bodies. Okay, as a matter of fact, the earth itself is a celestial body. You know, stars, those can be counted as celestial bodies. You know, so the angels have celestial bodies. And basically, they're able to do things that mere mortals on earth cannot do. Okay, with these spiritual vehicles, which is linked to them, to these angels, in which when you read the book of Ezekiel, the first chapter, it tells you what these creatures look like that are traveling inside of these vehicles, what the world ignorantly calls UFOs. Because these beings that travel inside these vehicles, what the world ignorantly calls UFOs, okay, these beings look like black people. Now, I want to say so-called black because we're not black, we're different shades of brown. But nonetheless, if you look at a so-called black American man, that's what the angels look like. And the angels of the Lord, they travel around in what the world ignorantly calls UFOs. Okay, and they travel around in these vehicles, and they conduct their tasks in these various vehicles. Sometimes you will hear about them being seen under ocean. You know, maybe they're under ocean creating new life forms or whatever. You know, sometimes you see them coming up out of volcanoes. Okay, sometimes you hear about them flying around the sun. You know, but these beings that travel around inside of these UFOs, they look like black people. They look exactly like black people. They have the very dark, very dark brown woolly hair, because I don't even think there's such thing as black hair. It's just your hair is so very dark brownish that it looks black. But you know, they have very dark brownish hair. They have very dark brownish woolly hair, a very dark brownish woolly beard, and their skin complexion is a dark brown skinned complexion, or a very dark brown skinned complexion, or even a brown skinned complexion. But those beings inside of what the world ignorantly calls UFOs, those beings that are traveling around inside of those UFOs, they look like black people, okay? They have very dark brown woolly hair, very dark brown woolly beard, a very dark brown woolly mustache, and a very dark brown woolly goatee, or woolly beard, one of those, or a woolly mustache. So, and these are all men, okay? So, and as the scientists were spying up there in the heavens, they saw one of these so-called UFOs. And when they looked into the windows of these so-called UFOs, they saw black people in there. Okay, they saw grown black men in these UFOs. And now we read Proverbs 20 verse 25. No, we read Proverbs 20 verse 24, and we understand that men's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So the Lord put the spirit on Dabu 7 to take this capture, right? And to ultimately upload it to YouTube, where this beautiful brother, GMS inquired earlier, or whoever was responsible for recording this video from Dabu 7, and basically putting the spirit on him to pause the video to where you can actually see through the window of, because in the book of Ezekiel, it gives you the description of these UFOs that came to Ezekiel in the book of Ezekiel, the first chapter. And he also described to you what these beings look like that came out of the UFOs. Okay, so he described the UFOs as also having windows. So yes, these so-called UFOs have windows. And when these Edomites down here on Earth working for NASA or whatever space program had looked through the telescope, when they looked through the windows from what they were recording, they saw black men inside of these spaceships, and what the world ignorantly calls UFOs. And I don't think there's a way I can actually. I wanted to zoom in, but the picture is actually a lot more clearer because I also have this picture on my laptop. So I took a picture of this as well and saved it to my laptop. And yeah, what do we see here, man? It's really hard to see because, again, it's on my phone. And then you have some mysterious writings. While some of these, I don't even know if these are even symbols or not from the Paleo Hebrew. They don't look like it, you know, because I've done my research, and some of these symbols, actually most of these symbols I did not see in the Paleo Hebrew. But maybe those are not actually symbols. Maybe those are just maybe lights, or who knows. But you know, yeah, you see what looks to be right there. I don't know if you can see it, but okay, if you look to your right, if you look to the right side of your screen, you can see that it looks like there's a man right there with his hood off. There's a man standing right there with his hood off, you know, and you can kind of like see his face, because brown skin can also have a shine to it, you know. And a matter of fact, the Holy Scriptures speak about how, you know, if we're of the elect, when we come down from Yahweh's chariot, we're going to have a glow about our skin. Okay, we're gonna have like this glowing aura about us. So, you know, but you can see like the woolly hair and stuff around these angels of the Lord. You can see the, you know, some of these you can see like the beard, like how the brother pointed out, like you know, which if you ask me, you got like this looks like a golden armor on somebody, you know. This look like a golden armor on somebody, and then he might have, this look like, this could be like a golden mitre upon the head of this angel. Okay, a golden mitre on his head, you know, and you got like the white woolly beard there, and then on his arm he has like the golden bracelets, because the angels of the Lord, they don't dress like how we dress. Okay, like you know, Jake been stuck in America so long that he thinks that wearing a hoodie and some jeans is normal. Nah, man, that's not how we dressed back in the ancient world. No, we used to wear Hebrew Israelite garments that came down to our foots. You know? Now, while we did used to wear a shirt before in the past, and possibly some pants, the shirt was like your undergarment. Just like how the boxers you wear as a man will be like your undergarment to your pants or your shorts. So the angels, they also wear Hebrew Israelite garments that's down to the foot. You know, some of them may even have golden chest plates on them. Some of them might be even dressed like kings. Some of them might be dressed like warriors. Because you got angels of the Lord that are warriors. Why? Well, it goes back to Exodus 15:3. Because the Lord is a man of war. And the scriptures tell you that as a king, as a ruler is, so is his people. Okay, it's not Yahweh, the Most High, a ruler. So, of course, the angels that worship and serve him, they're going to have a warrior-like mentality as well. So, you know, I thought this picture was beautiful. I intend to hold on to this picture. I pray I don't delete it by accident. But even if it is gone on my phone somehow, I have it on my laptop, which is in a higher definition, less blurry. But yeah, man, beautiful times we're living in. You know, with that, I'm gonna say Shalom is on to the next one.